Make some noise and give it up for.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You know me. I'm K-Ray and Sports Podcast. It's football season, but just for a moment, we're gonna step out the comfort zone of football and we're gonna go into a basketball game that happened not too long ago, probably 1975. It was one of the biggest basketball games in Alabama state history. Just one of them now, because Parker played in numerous ones. We can go back to Parker and talk about them like 4 or 5 times. But this one was the first one. 1975, the Phillip Red Raiders and the Parker Thunder and Herd. Coach Alvin Moore, the Phillip Red Raiders, and William Cap Brown, the legend, the late William Cap Brown of Parker, one of the most dominated coaches in the country at the time. So it pits #1 Parker. They were 33-3 versus Phillips. And I'm gonna let them tell the story because we got two guys that played in that game in 1975, and they are here with us today. It's Steve Freeman and Christopher Jiles. It's Christopher Jiles and Steve Freeman. We go back to 1975. No TV, no cell phones in that era. It came on the radio. And we're gonna get off into our story today. Phillip is the only team in the history of Alabama State basketball history to play in a championship game with a losing record. I want you to hear what I'm saying. They had a losing record and made it to the state championship in the city where it consisted of Ramsey, Jackson Olin, Parker, Winona, and it can go on. But they made it out. They upset Carver. So here today, we got Christopher Jiles and we got Steve Freeman. Steve Freeman played with Phillips. Jiles played with Parker. And my first question, guys, is with you, Jiles, how did you end up at Parker? Just give us a quick overview of how you got there.
Well, I was a graduate of Wilkerson Elementary. And when I attended Parker High School, Cap Brown would get all the kids in the city, especially in that area, and you would come up to Parker and you would play. And I went up there one day and I played, and I think I did pretty good. But the next day I didn't show up. So I went out for the freshman team and I didn't show up. I played one day, I didn't show up. So Cap Brown, he remembered me. He remembered me from that. And but at the time, I didn't know that Cap knew all the kids in the city.
How you do that?
Community. Well, he used to go to all the games.
Yeah.
Birmingham, they used to have a middle school tournament. Matter of fact, Ra Scott, who was the point guard on the A.H. Park High School championship team, Washington Elementary, they won it that year. They beat Bubba Price and Hudson, them in the championship game. So they always had a good middle school tournament, a good middle school basketball. So Cap Brown, he followed people. Like you say, he was a legend. Everybody knew him, and everybody wanted to come to Parker.
So when you got there in ninth grade, you said because over the years, me and you and Steve, we talked about this game, and I wrote a story about it. But and then over the years, I said, okay, I got to put it in the play. I got to get a podcast and bring the story on. But you went there your ninth grade year, so you said you quit.
I quit the team. I didn't play on the freshman team, but I came back my sophomore year. And Cap Brown remembered me because at that time, Parker used to have 100 guys go out for the basketball team. We had more guys going out for the basketball team than we did football. And we had 3 teams. You had the freshman team, you had the B team, and you had the varsity. So when I came out with the varsity, Cap kept me on the varsity the whole year. At first, he said, I shouldn't let you be on my team because you quit on me last year. And I was looking at him, and I was looking around and looking at all these other players. I said, who are you talking about? He said, I'm talking to you, fool. You quit on me last year. So he made sure that I stayed out there my sophomore year.
Let's get this straight. Now, how tall was you then?
I was about 6'4.5". 6'4.5".
So you grew to what?
I grew to be 6'8".
6'8".
I grew after high school.
Yeah. Okay, now, so now you own the varsity. Now, me and you talked, Steve. We talked a lot. When I did the story, you almost didn't make it to Phillip. So this story never would have developed because God sent you where you want to be, because you almost didn't make it to Phillip. How you arrived at Phillip?
Well, in my basketball experience, I went to Lewis Elementary, where I was cut in the 8th grade. Didn't play at all. So all of my family had gone to Carver High School. So that was going to be my destination. So I went to Carver my 9th grade year. Unfortunately, I broke my jaw. I couldn't play basketball at all. I played only baseball in my 9th grade year. First couple of weeks of my 10th grade year, they realized I was in the wrong zone.
Street over, something like that. No Birmingham.
So they sent me to Phillips.
Yeah.
And ever since I moved from Carver to Phillips, I had a different attitude. I had grown. In the 9th grade, I was 5'8", 158 pounds. During the summer, I have a different story than Chris. I went to the farmer's market on Finley Avenue and threw watermelon the whole summer. So I went from 5'8", 135 to 6'2 and a half, 180. And I was already what you might call mean,
Yeah.
with a small body. And now I had enough strength to own up to the bigger guys.
Yeah.
And so that put me in a different category. So all of the little guys that I was playing against, it didn't matter.
So yeah, and let's talk. We're gonna go back to Jiles. Let's talk about the coach for one minute. You know, both. I'm gonna let both of y'all talk about the coach. You talked about Cap. There's some story to be told about Cap, but how you feel you playing varsity on 10th grade, because back in the day it usually didn't happen, because like you said, 100 people come out there and you eventually end up as the only 10th grade on the team. Did that mess with your psyche, or did people try to push you around? You held your own?
Well, unfortunately, you know, I was lucky to be on that team. That was just a great team, that 1975 A.H. Parker High School. They had everything in place. You know, you had Ra Scott, the point guard, who was a middle school champion. You had Richard Ford, you had Michael Jemison, you had Elsa Brooks. Those guys kind of came up together through the B team and the freshman team. Here I am coming out of middle school. I didn't know what to expect, but I'm on the varsity. So Richard Ford, Michael Jemison, because I was a small forward and I was long, and I wasn't like Steve. I didn't pitch watermelon in the summertime, but I was long and skinny and I was gangly. But those guys used to beat on me every night. You know, they took me under their wing. Richard Ford, matter of fact, I followed him to Southern Illinois University. But those guys, they really took care of me. I don't know if that was the Cap Brown syndrome or whatever.
Yeah.
But being a sophomore and the only young guy on that team, Cap Brown used to take me around in his car. So he used to call me Cap Brown's son. And
Well, Jeff did the same thing at Carl.
Yeah, I mean, all those guys, you know.
They did it, yeah.
But I was fortunate to be on that team. And the things that I learned on that team, it stuck with me, and I carried it with me the rest of my life. You know, my experience at Southern Illinois, UAB, and the things we did over there, all because I played on that 1975 state championship team. And unfortunately, that kept me around, because I am living his dream and I am telling his story. And I really appreciate you, Ray, for having me on the show.
It's no problem.
So I can tell this story about that 1975 state championship team.
Okay, now you go to Phillips. And I found out some years ago that the football coach, Coach Childress, he was coaching basketball one time, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Was he any good?
He was. Well, I'm not gonna say his credentials or anything, but he was a basketball coach.
Yeah.
And when I was a sophomore,
so when you first got there, he was the coach.
When I first got there, Coach Childress was my basketball coach.
Because I never knew that. You know who told me that? Michael Harris.
Yeah.
He told me, he said Childress was the coach, and I said, what? Yeah. So how Alvin Moore came to be?
Well, I was a sophomore, and I was going to play B team basketball, but like I said, I had grown.
Yeah.
And all of the guys that I thought was better than me, they couldn't hold me back anymore.
Yeah. So you have your way with them. In other words, go ahead and say you have your way with them.
I could have my way with them.
Yeah.
So I was promoted to. I didn't play a B team game.
That was your sophomore year.
That was my sophomore year.
Yeah.
I didn't play a B team game. I was promoted to starting guard with the varsity in my 10th grade.
So what Alvin Moore practice consists of, like suicides?
We had a lot of toughness drills. Yeah. Which was right down my alley.
Yeah.
I was already mean.
Yeah.
I had 7 brothers. I'm the 7th brother.
Yeah.
So my brothers used to take me to the gym and
rough you up.
On me.
And that's the way what they did. And I'm gonna have both of you your story, because I wrote a story when I write for the Post Hill, and I wrote about Fountain Heights Gym. And they said, if you ain't never played for Fountain Heights or North Birmingham Gym, you're not a baller. Do you agree with that?
I agree. Because
what is it about Fountain Heights? And we're gonna get to North Birmingham. But did you play at both of them?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is it about Fountain Heights back in the day?
Well, back in the day, you know, everybody was looking for a place to play. I mean, we visit all the recreation centers in Birmingham. You know, certain places you went, but most of the guys, the college guys and the guys that played in the NBA, somehow they came to Fountain Heights.
Yeah.
So wherever the ballers was at, you find out where they're playing at, then you go there.
You lose, you probably won't get back on the court.
Oh no, you won't. You won't get back on the court.
You might well go home, but you know they sit around for 2 or 3 hours to get back on that court.
So you over in Fountain Heights? You playing in Fountain? You ever go to North Birmingham?
Oh yes,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
I can tell you a story about that. Ra Scott, after we won the state championship in '75, Ra was the only starter coming back.
Yeah.
Myself, I was on and off starter, a player. So Ra used to say, "I'm gonna come by, do your chores on Friday night because I'm gonna come by your house on Saturday morning to pick you up."
Because you just said a word that some of these kids today hadn't heard before. What you say?
Chores or do your work? Do your work around the house?
Yeah.
And he said, "I'm gonna come by and pick you up in the morning." So I got 3 beats. 1 of them coming, 2 of them here, and 3 of them gone.
Yeah.
And what Ra used to do, he used to come by and pick up everyone on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
We would go to every gym in Birmingham and play. You know, and 9 out of 10, with the last gym would be Jackson Nolan.
Yeah.
But once they said Ra Scott is over in this community playing ball, man, the gym would be packed. People would come everywhere.
Yeah.
And you know, and that's how I made a name for myself, because Ra actually during that summer helped me develop.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh, that Ra Scott," and that left-handed guy they called Jiles.
Yeah.
So then people started talking about me in the summertime.
Yeah.
And he helped develop my skills. Because Ra was like this. Vernon was on the right, I was on the left because I was left-handed. And when he used to push the ball up the floor, he said, "I'm gonna get by that first guy," which he would.
Yeah.
Now somebody else got to take him. So the guys on the wing would be open. And like I said, he developed my game. And I really appreciate the things he did for me.
Now you go to North Birmingham. I had some history over there. When you were going up there, was Donnell opening the gym up, or it was somebody else? When you
it was somebody else.
It was somebody else. So Donnell came later.
Raymond Odom.
Oh yeah, the baller. Yeah,
Raymond Odom was
stayed in the Canadian League forever. DB. And he was a baller.
That's who I, to tell you the truth, that's who I inspired to be like.
Yeah.
Because Raymond told me some stuff. We didn't talk a lot, but he told me some stuff. So don't run away from nobody.
And it's just a running, because you were talking about Raymond. You would give me the lowdown on Raymond last night. Yeah. So Raymond, he played with y'all, get on the court and play.
Oh yeah.
And
I would check him a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know.
So these gyms. So what I said is true, because these 2 gyms, everybody always talk. You're not a baller. You can't play on that level in these gyms because it was talent.
It was a lot of talent.
It was a lot of talent. So now we're gonna talk about the players. Y'all made it to 1975, but we're gonna talk about some players that was in your era. You name 2, then you name 2. Giles, you name two players that was in your era that y'all got by. These kids today, they think they don't want to have game, but a lot of the guys played back there with y'all. They went pro.
Oh yeah,
they were going pro like every year. You know what I'm saying? So 2 guys that stood out, that brought a crowd to Fair Park. And then we're gonna talk about Fair Park after we name 2 players.
Well, it's hard to name 2.
Yeah.
But I will try to name 2 players.
Yeah.
And Steve Freeman era. 1975 was the greatest basketball you ever want to see. And Jackson Nolan had a guy named Mew King that still has a lot of records down at the University of Alabama.
Yeah.
Mew was a great player, inside player that can score, strong, athletic. And he kind of carried Jackson on his back. They only lost 6 games in 2 years, and they all against Parker.
So y'all they had y'all bad matchup for him?
We was a bad matchup for him because we had Whoop that was athletic and block shot. We had Michael Jemison, we had Eli, and then we had Ra, and then we had Elsa Brooks in the backcourt. And then we had a guy named Keith McIntosh, what he called Smitty.
Yeah.
He was the Enemo before the Enemo.
Yeah.
Nobody ever saw his game because Cap went a flashy type guy, so he held him back a little bit.
Yeah.
But Mew was one of the great players. And then another guy that I played with at UAB only 1 year was Keith McCoy. Oh my God, he played at West End.
Yeah.
I didn't know Keith was that talented until I played with him. I used to hear people talking about down in Alabama, they misused him and things like that.
Yeah.
But when I played with him at UAB, oh my God, this guy was the best small forward that I ever seen to this day.
Yeah.
The best small forward. I mean, he can handle it, he can run, he can shoot. And dunking, hey, he was dunking donut. Keith would dunk on anybody. And the funny thing, the reason I said it, we were playing DePaul, the #1 team in the country at that time. And Mark Aguirre, great player, and Terry Cummings and those guys. I remember Keith picked up a basketball. He called me and he said, Chris Jiles. And everybody kind of paused. He picked up and dunked. Then the next play, he went on the other side, man, like he was riding a bicycle, man, and dropped the ball back. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. See, I forgot all about him.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I remember him, but I forgot about him. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
But at that time, Birmingham had it's hard to name two.
Yeah.
Tony Nathan was a great basketball player.
I heard stories
Even though
about
he
him.
played football, he was all city and basketball.
Now Jiles spitting it out. He spit two. He spit McCord out, and I forgot all about McCord. Yeah. Now you name your two. Name two players you remember from that era.
Well, my two, I had to play against both of them. One was when I was a sophomore, Wayne Brace.
Ooh, yeah.
At Hayes.
Yeah, I heard a story about him.
And one of the guys that had the most beautiful shot I've ever seen besides Essa Brooks is named Eddie Carlton at Carver.
Yeah. Boo. Called him Boo.
Boo.
Yeah.
And see, you're talking about precision.
Yeah.
Both of them were like that, but Boo would bring a crowd and just get out there and just show out.
Yeah.
And you couldn't stop him.
Turned out to be a good coach too.
You could not.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a great coach.
Yeah. Yeah. He was.
And one more that I had that I couldn't stop. That boy from Glenn. Went to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Tony.
Andrew Tony.
Okay, now he went pro, but and I'm glad you named him because I'm asking both of y'all about him. Y'all played him, or y'all just had him out number, he was just over there by himself. You understand? You couldn't stop him.
He had some good players. He had some good players.
Because he never made it out of. Did he ever make it out of Birmingham?
Oh, yeah, he did.
To the state. I'm talking about to the state.
He did.
They went.
He lost to Glenn Marcus and Thompson High School.
Okay.
In '76.
Yeah.
All the teams from Birmingham lost.
So when Tony was playing, and like I said, I'm glad you brought him up because his cousin stayed right by me in Evergreen Bottom, and he used to go in there. Boy, he used to pull up some stuff. So now he's just a scoring machine.
He's a scoring machine.
That can shoot it
anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. And he had the green light to do
Green
it.
light.
Yeah. Who coaching them then? Can you remember the coach?
It was Hasselgun or
I think it was Hansel Gunn.
Yeah.
I think it was Gunn.
Yeah.
See, they had two coaches.
Yeah.
Glenn did, and both of them won state championship.
No. You 90 player. And see that I want you 90 player because guys just don't know. And I know young guys hate to see back in the day. And I was posting y'all this week and back in the day, and the guy from Parker said, man, feed me everything because I heard about this era. I want to know more about the era, so I'm gonna be watching the show. So now tell them on a regular night from both of y'all, and one of y'all can go first about Fair Park. I'm talking about the old Fair Park. What's a typical night playing there?
Well, Fair Park was the venue. That's where everybody wanted to come to the games. And that's where all the big games at, which is Bill Harris Arena now.
Yeah.
The old Fair Park held about 4,000 in there. Probably they tried to squeeze 10 in there. I mean, people was everywhere.
Yeah.
And when they had the big games, around Fair Park, people used to leave work to get out there and stand in line to get there to the game.
Yeah.
Now, if you played on the B team, and this is one of those regular season games, hey, the B team loved it because people would be in that pack seeing the future of the teams.
Yeah, I came when I played JV 1 year. That's what happened too.
Because, they had a corner when you came in. They called it the coaches' corner. All the coaches would be sitting there. C.M. New, Wimp Sanders, Sonny Smith, Danny Crum, the Georgia coach. They had coaches' corner, and coaches used to come there and watch good basketball.
Yeah,
and everybody wanted to be at Fair Park. They had a floor that bounced, so if you can jump and you hit that floor, man, your elevation was gonna rise.
Yeah.
Now the funniest thing about Fair Park, and I hate to say this, but it's a good funny thing. You would smell the reefer smoke. You would smell the cigarette smoke.
All up in there. You can see it.
All up in there.
Yeah.
And then they would drop the wine bottle in the bleachers.
Yeah.
But people came there and had a good time. It wasn't a whole lot of incidents. And the other thing about Fair Park, they used to have a county tournament from like 8 in the morning to probably about 12 or 1. And then they would have the city tournament. That's when all the city schools would come in and play and finish up the night game. So you had 16 city schools. It ain't like it is now.
Yeah.
And everybody had good ball players. I mean, when
Yeah.
you talk about Andrew Tony and I went to elementary school together, Wilkerson.
Yeah.
My 8th grade year, we had a basketball team. His 8th grade year, they didn't. And he should have been at Parker with his sister, Thomasine Tony.
Yeah.
But he ended up following Mr. Gray to Glenn.
Yeah.
And we should call him Foo because he shot the ball like this. And when he shot it, everybody said Foo.
Yeah. And so what you know about Fair? I know y'all played there a lot.
Fair Park was the venue.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, other than playing at home with a big crowd, if you played at Fair Park, you knew it was a big game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You knew it was a big game, and you were gonna be out there, and you would see the crowd. It wasn't the crowd in the stands; it was the crowd around the floor that was standing room only.
Yeah, because when you tell somebody about Fair Park, they never heard of it.
Yeah.
They know about it now,
Yeah.
but back in the day, the old Fair Park, and people be outside.
Oh yeah,
People be outside because just like y'all name these players, it's blowing my mind, especially with McCoy, and then you bring up Tony, because I wondering did he ever make it out of Birmingham and get to the state? I always wondered about that. Yeah. So now you're in 1975, and like I said, no cell phones, no. Everybody didn't have a car like they do now. Kids have a car in 10th grade now. How y'all just interacting with each other? I like on the phone at night, stuff like that. Are you bumping? Probably on Saturdays at a gym somewhere.
Probably on Saturday at the gym, because one thing about Will and Cap Brown, if they had a tournament, see, we could never stay there and watch other teams play. We had to leave. Now, other schools, they could sit there and talk to the fans and walk around, but not with Cap Brown. After you play, you got on that St. Joseph bus and you went back to Park.
So y'all using the St. Joseph bus.
We were using St. Joseph bus.
So how y'all travel from school when you was at Phillips?
we used the regular school bus.
The yellow bus.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
yellow
Yeah.
bus.
Okay. Yeah. So now it's 1975 season. So you think that y'all gonna be good? You thinking coming into the season?
Well, just only listening to Coach Brown, because in 7-4, they had lost to Hayes High School. Harold Robinson and Wayne Brace and them. They beat Parker by 30 in the semifinal. And so that didn't sit well with Cap Brown.
That was in the state.
That was in the state.
Yeah.
And
Hayes
Hayes
beat
ended up winning. They ended up winning the state.
And nobody never talk about 74.
Well,
About Hayes.
they-
Yeah. You see what I'm
like
saying?
he said, Harold Robinson, one of the greatest shooters.
Yeah.
Went to Lincoln University, was drafted by the Lakers, man, set all kind of records.
Yep.
And so Cap Brown talked about his team. He Cap one of those revenge type guys.
Yeah,
And so he
yeah.
made sure that these guys knew that wasn't going to happen what happened the year before. So he built that team. We practiced. They practiced all summer. I mean, Cap Brown, we had to, look, man, we didn't go home until 11, 12 o'clock at night. So that means you at school all day and then you practicing. I hear
From that
people talking
on
about,
to 11, 12 and
yeah, I hear people talking about, man, we got our practice at 5 o'clock. I said, whoa, we didn't even get started. And
Yeah.
then don't let a coach come in there, somebody like Wimp Sanders or CM or Danny Crum. We be through practicing and Cap will be talking to us about the history. That's why I know so much about the history.
Yeah,
Because
you know the history.
He was a history guy. He
Yeah,
would breed
yeah,
that. He'll
yeah.
tell you about
Yeah.
Alan Murphy. He'll tell you about Alvin McGrew. He'll tell you about Wyndham Hudson. So if you want to be like them and emulate them, that was in your mind. I want to be like Wyndham Hudson. I want to be like Alan Murphy.
Yeah.
See, that's a tradition at Park.
Yeah.
It ain't
Yeah.
there anymore, but that's what it was back then.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
somebody that he was going to plant in your brain that he wanted you to be like.
Yeah.
And that's why guys would be like him. Ralph Williams won a national championship.
Yeah.
Only two guys he ever let call timeout, Ralph Williams and Robert Scott.
Yeah.
So Cap
So
Brown
what Ralph
was a
was
point
the shooting
guard.
guard? Oh, he point
No,
guard.
he's a point guard.
Behind Ra.
No, Ralph was older than Robert.
Okay,
he played
I
on the
got you.
64
Okay, I
national
got you. Yeah,
championship team.
yeah.
But I'm
yeah.
saying
Yeah,
the way
I got
Cap does his thing,
Point guard.
yeah,
Yeah.
he keep the same pattern.
Yeah. Yeah.
The same pattern. When I used to talk to Ralph about some of the things Cap used to do to us, he started laughing. He used to do the same thing to us.
Yeah.
He'd tell you to go to your teammate house and spend the night and y'all become friends, bonding. He
Yeah.
believed in bonding. He
Yeah.
was a military guy.
Yeah. And I think now what's different when y'all came in that era, and now I hear a lot of people and I see a lot of people on Facebook, they don't use team anymore. They use my son, my daughter. As long as my daughter, my son getting theirs, they don't care where they win or lose. And everybody want their kid to play. Now Giles names some people on his team, and now you name some people on your team because back then everybody had a nickname. That's why sometimes I write stories. I give everybody a nickname.
Yeah.
And back then, and I don't just call some nicknames. You got Whoop, that was Richard Ford. You got Rah Rah, that was Robert Scott. And then you got over there, and it's a crazy name when I'm in the call, but he could ball. Tony Miller was Funky Jim.
Funky Jim.
Yeah,
Then
Funky
you
Jim.
had Wolf,
Wolf.
Jerome Johnson. You know what I'm saying? So the name stuck with you. How do you come up with
Mule
names like
King.
Mule King? You see
My
what I'm
name was
saying?
Frog.
Yeah. I didn't want to go there. Somebody told me that years ago. Yeah. So the nickname, you just had to set the nicknames. So just tell them the nickname that played with you.
Conrad Duncan
Yeah.
with Dunk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, Tony Miller
Yeah.
was Funky Jim. Joe Johnson with Jody.
Yeah. Wow.
Guy named Arnold Lindsay was Hunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Forgot about it.
It was just a lot of different people, different personalities.
Yeah.
That when I was a senior, we started off rough. The season we started the season rough. We got a little better.
We might well go and get into it then. So y'all, so Giles said he kind of could see how Cap was telling them like, well, we gonna probably have a good team. And did you see where y'all was going?
Where I thought we were going,
Yeah.
we didn't get to that point until late.
Yeah.
So to get to that point, I remember we didn't have that hustle.
Yeah.
Or somebody steal the ball, you would see somebody trotting behind them trying to catch it.
Yeah.
So that had a bad taste in my mouth and the coach's mouth.
Yeah.
So we actually had a day we had to bring our uniforms. We had to bring our uniforms and put them on the floor.
Wow.
And we had to earn our uniform again.
This during the season?
This was mid-season.
God.
We
Mid-season?
had to earn. You were either gonna play or you were gonna be cut, and he was gonna bring up some B teams.
Yeah.
So after that, it kind of lit some kind of fuse.
Yeah.
Because I would say we had like a 7-16 record or something like that going into
7-16.
going into the playoffs and stuff.
What I'm telling you, to get 7-16, what y'all were doing wrong?
We couldn't close out.
Couldn't close out.
We were close,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we couldn't close people out.
Yeah.
It was always a defensive lapse or a turnover or something like that that kept us from that opportunity.
So after that, what y'all went on a win streak or something like that? Or y'all were just
we went on a winning streak. And I guess when we went on that winning streak, we got a lot more fans to come.
Yeah.
Okay. And actually during the playoffs, the year before, actually, I broke my thumb.
Yeah.
And I didn't play at all in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So this time I just told myself I was gonna go for it.
Yeah.
So
you pretty much was the leader.
Well, you could say that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you the leader cause look.
I was the most. I would speak up.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
When it was time to speak up.
Yeah.
But I wasn't that person that come and say bad words to you just to get you to do something. Because if I have to do that, I don't need you.
Yeah.
So
you found they were listening to you?
They were listening.
Because I think some players,
They
we
were
agree
listening.
with me, some players always they're gonna listen to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So the coach would be saying, hey, this guy's not listening, blah, blah, blah. So they started listening to you. Y'all took off.
We took off.
Now, y'all had interaction with Giles and them during the regular season. Tell about those games.
Jiles and his crew, they had about 5 or 6 Division I players.
Yeah.
And they proved their point.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people that hustled to get where they were.
Yeah.
And I would take, it's not like, I don't want to be given anything.
Yeah.
I want to earn it.
Yeah.
And when I played Parker or anybody else, it wasn't like I was playing superstars or anything. They were with me.
Yeah.
And if I was told to do something, that's what I did,
Yeah.
you know. And it was like night and day. The different teams, they have more. We never played together in middle school or nothing like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we learned each other during the process.
Cause what Ward them come from? Norwood?
Yeah, they came from
Okay,
Norwood.
okay.
I was in North Birmingham.
What Miller came from? Norwood?
Yeah.
So did they have a team?
No.
What?
And then you know you had
Well, that way held y'all back.
you had to want to play.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you don't want to play, you're not going to play.
So y'all match up with Jiles. How many times during the regular season?
Three.
2
times during the regular season.
season.
They beat us the first or second game, they beat us by 30. The next game, they beat us by 20 something. It was a decisive victory.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? So, and I can tell you this.
Was that a learning experience?
It was a learning experience because you want to. I don't mind the loss.
Yeah.
More than if I know I put my all into it.
Yeah.
If I put my all into it, Ray.
Yeah.
You can't, because you can lose. You can put your all and lose on the last second shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but you put your all into it. That's all you're worth.
And I'm gonna ask y'all ever bump into each other like y'all close on 8th Avenue? I'm talking about out and about, not on the court, just out somewhere. Where y'all were hanging out?
I hated Chris Jiles.
Where you were talking all the
I
time?
hated Chris Jiles because Chris Jiles played on a better team.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But then you can hate somebody
Yeah.
and still be friends with them.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
We weren't going to park. We weren't going to park and shoot up the place because they were better than us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't like them because they were Parker.
Yeah.
I'm sure he had some misgivings about me.
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all battle when y'all in the regular season. You was 6'2". What you playing, forward or
I was
shoot
playing
guard?
forward.
You playing forward at 6'2".
But against Parker, my main job was to stop Esther Brooks.
Brooks pretty good.
Brooks was pretty good.
Athletic.
So y'all had now forward. A lot of people don't talk about forward. I don't even think they know forward last. I don't even think they know him at forward. Because every time I talk about it, they say whoop.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So
They know his name. They know
he was good. Because I was a little bitty boy. I used to read the newspaper, and I used to see him, and they had a picture of him, and it looked like every week he had done something. You know what I'm saying? So how good was forward?
Woot was real good. And I'm gonna say this to Steve. Everybody at Parker respected Steve because of the type of person and the character that he had. Now I knew Jordan Wolf because we went to Wilkerson together. Wolf and I was best friends. He was the best basketball player.
So you best friend with Wolf?
Yeah, Theron Johnson.
Yeah.
He was the biggest guy.
See, I didn't know that.
He was strong, and he was a great basketball player at Wilkerson. Yeah. Then I came along.
Yeah.
And then he moved. Matter of fact, he grew up in the Hill School area, so they bounced around. Yeah. They family bounced around. I knew his whole family. Yeah. But come back to what Steve was talking about. We played Phillip the first game, and that was our first game.
Y'all played at Fair Park.
And then we played them again, and then we played them in the state tournament. There was a whole different team.
And we're gonna get to that point.
There was a whole different team.
We come to that point. Yeah.
Playing against Phillips right there on 8th Avenue, and we kind of looked at Phillips like a football school because most of their basketball players were built like football because their emphasis at that time were more on football than they were on basketball. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So a lot of schools were like that. Yeah. So when you pressed them, they would turn the ball over. They didn't understand the game because they football players. Some of them just came off the football field. They didn't have basketball. Yeah. But and during that time, when I talked to Coach Moore, he said he was a young coach. He had just graduated from Alcorn. Yeah. He was coming back to Birmingham, and so they were looking for a coach, and he was looking for a job. Yeah. And he took over the basketball. And he did a great job. Yeah, he did. He did a great job. Yeah. Especially with that team. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The difference is it's a tradition. Yeah. Yeah. Like Steve said, the gym will be packed.
So during the regular season, how many times you think y'all played at Parker?
One time. Fair Park was our home.
So Fair Park was our home.
We was the breadwinner for all schools, like Legion Field in football.
Yeah.
We was the breadwinner for all
and I don't think people understand that.
No.
I don't think people understand what you're saying. You see what I'm saying?
Well, with the fans, we had the most fans.
Yeah.
We had the most tradition.
Yeah.
And we had the most following.
Yeah.
See, and people fed off that. Now this is the beginning of integration. Now you're talking about 69, 70.
And see, that's why this game was so important and powerful. And I talked to people, they inboxed me about it, and that's the first thing that they said. That 75 game, you had to be there. Now you play. How many games you think y'all played at Phillips?
We played a lot of games at Phillips.
Yeah, because y'all had a bigger.
Until we played Parker.
Yeah,
we had a big enough gym.
Sure
yeah,
did.
We had a 2-tier
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember.
gym.
I played up in there,
And we had a big enough gym. We played a big rival. It was enough seat
yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah.
And parking. So
Now, and I don't mean what I'm going to say. Well, I do mean what I'm going to say. So Parker was a draw. If Parker come to town, would you agree? Parker come to town, everybody gonna crowd the gym.
Oh yeah, and of course about it, Parker people gonna be at the game first. They're gonna be in there before your fans be in there.
Yeah. And it's
Holler,
still,
let's go, hurry, let's go.
And over the years they travel, football and basketball, they always travel.
Oh yeah,
And then not to get off the subject, but later on in the 70s and early 80s, it was the same way with Philip. If Philip would come to town, you had
well, you had a marquee player though.
And then now, see, I don't know what you remember, and I remember Greg Stowe.
Yep.
He came back and told me, I was a little bit of boy. He came back and told me, said, man, fucking Jim 35 on Carver up. And do you remember that night? How good with Tony Miller?
Tony Miller was.
I know you had to battle him.
He was a player.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He was a player. He's one of those guys that doesn't look like an athlete.
Yeah.
And if he had put his mind to that sport,
Yeah.
Tony was. I throw the ball pretty hard to players.
Yeah.
Okay. And I used to throw the ball at Tony sometimes like I was pitching.
Yeah.
And he just catch it like a normal because he had big hands.
Yeah.
And he'd get up under the goal and just
Couldn't nobody stop him once he
couldn't
got up
nobody
under the goal.
stop him under the goal.
You had to deal with him.
No, not like Whoop and Eli. Like I said, I played on the wing anyway. I was out there with Steve and the guard. But one thing I knew about Tony Miller, he had a nice body.
Yeah.
He had a big time
Hard to get around.
Division I body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wasn't a tall guy, but he knew how to use his
He
body.
was cool.
Yeah. That's what I remember about him. Like I said, a lot of those guys we just thought was football players, that came out there. I mean, Steve then was built. We long stringing.
Yeah.
Like I said before, where's the length?
So didn't exist back then?
Trainers?
Yeah, like these guys got their own trainer now.
I actually used to wrap
Yeah.
ankles
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Have cold packs and stuff.
Yeah.
I actually had to do that for the players.
Okay, now these trainers, I'm talking about training these guys for the game. They got their own trainers. Everybody got a trainer. See, back then, y'all were just working on. I think the game now and the game back then, you all were more fundamentals.
Fundamental.
Yeah. And fundamentals take you a long way. And see, now these guys, I saw a guy one night. I went to Pinson, and you know his dad, Terry Connor's son,
Yeah.
the smallest one, Austin.
Yeah.
Man, that man, you know how they used to say back then, that man got a yo-yo, he dribbled like he got a yo-yo. He never looked down at the ball. He always got that. And I said, wow, this guy got fundamentals. And I'm gonna give him a name, but I didn't find trouble trying to name him. But he can handle that ball. So back then, could Wolf handle the ball?
Wolf could dribble, but
Yeah.
he wasn't
Fancy.
He wasn't that one to get, if they had a press, he wasn't that one to dribble around.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
So,
Now, you say y'all caught fire. So all during the season, y'all was already good. So y'all know coming in on a different. How do you feel like when you get like, you're good, you just can't get it? Cap never let y'all got overconfidence.
Oh no.
What he did to just calm y'all down.
He would give them late night speeches.
Yeah,
And he would, not beat you down, but make sure you was in your place. And one thing about that team also, in 1975, we won every tournament. City, Shades Valley, blah, blah, blah. The only tournament we didn't win was the Park High School tournament. So
Who beat y'all in
I
the
think
tournament?
Rams are upset us. That's
Who
one of the
Rams
losses we
had?
had. They had Ben Coleman.
Yeah.
And he played in that tournament, middle school. A lot of those guys, that was coming up, and they got their name recognition during their middle school tournament. But Ben Coleman, they had Frick, they had Kerry, they had Terry. His son played at UAB.
Yeah. Yep.
Terry used to shoot them before threes was in. He was strong. He
Yeah.
could shoot it deep. So they upset us in the tournament. But Parker, those guys, as we start winning, then they start gaining confidence and momentum.
Yeah.
Because like I said, on the other end, you got Jackson Olin over there now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mew King. You got West End with Keith McCoy.
Yeah.
You got Andrew Tone over there with Glenn. Even
Yeah.
though Glenn was dominating the city and the state with Anthony Murray and them,
Yeah.
things were changing over. Then you still had Hayes and Cobb over there.
Yeah.
They always had good teams
Yeah.
and good programs.
Yeah.
So everybody was a battle. But as Parker started winning those tournaments, then the legendary things started growing. And what Cap was always keep you grounded. Because like I said, we never stayed in Fair Park and watched anybody play.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we came in, people said, hey, that go Park. I wonder what they wearing tonight.
So I want everybody to know, like, now they be saying 5A and 6A. See, back then, it was 4A.
Boy
What's big boys?
Boy was the height,
What's the height? So now you all get straight. So y'all going into what? The area?
the area.
Who's in y'all area? Who y'all beat in the area?
We played Huffman,
Huffman.
and we
They
beat
was
them.
white back then, right?
No.
They were black.
They were black.
Yeah, okay.
And we played Carver
Calm.
in the championship game.
So when you upset, when y'all did y'all upset? What they were better than y'all during the year. Who they had over at Carver then?
Oh, Carver always had some stars. Bubba Price, of course.
Okay, yeah.
And everybody they had was big.
Yeah.
They had some big guards. They had some big forwards. And they were good.
So y'all played them at Fair Park.
They played them at Fair Park. And I remember.
So how y'all beat them?
Okay, we played them, and we played them close the whole game. And I remember this trend. We had these white towels,
Yeah.
like a napkin. These white towels. All the fans had those white towels, and they were doing this the whole game.
Yeah.
Okay, with about 3 seconds to go, we were tied. And I remember getting the pass in, throwing it to the corner to Ernest Moss
Ernest Moss.
on the semi
He had a
game,
nickname.
the semifinal game. Threw it to the corner, and he make the shot. We win
So y'all beat him at the buzzer.
at the buzzer.
God,
Then
dog.
the next day, when we played Carver, I remember this so vividly. One of Carver players had they had the lead. One of them had a straight shot to the basket, and I ran down and knocked the ball out of bounds. Then it threw a turnover. It was tied. I get the ball in, throw it to the corner. Ernest Moss make another shot at the buzzer.
2 games in a row.
2 games in a row. So we got momentum.
Yeah. And that will bring momentum. Yeah.
We got momentum. We're
So-
going to the state.
So, man, people don't know how to state. They don't know how it feels to go to the state. So now, what route you took to get there?
Well, our route at Parker, I think we started out playing West End. The teams that was in our region, you had West End, Ensley, Jackson Olin, Jones Valley. Winona was a county school, so they wasn't in our region.
Winona was a county?
They
It
were
was county schools.
I never knew that.
Yeah, so they was a county
I
school.
never knew that.
And then we
Yeah.
had there's one more missing. But anyway, our route, I think we out. It might have been Ensign. We knocked them out, and then Jackson Nolan. So it came to the team that everybody wanted to see again.
Yeah.
We beat Mew and them in the city
Hold that
championship.
thought right there, because I'm gonna ask you something.
Okay.
And it's always been tied to y'all. Every time I talk about Parker basketball or somebody during y'all era, the 4 corner, the Cap used that a lot. You just talk.
Well, he used it later on, or if he had to leave. It's
Yeah.
called
Okay.
he was
Okay.
playing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because that's all I
It
hear.
ain't like it is now, man.
Cause
Steve can tell you, we ain't no
Yeah.
30 and 40 points game and
Yeah.
holding the ball. You know, we didn't hold no ball.
Yeah.
You got up and down. That's why people came to the game. They want to
Yeah.
see action.
So yeah, because every time I talk to somebody, they say, "Man, Cap go there 4 corners over with."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a strategy. Most people, if you got the lead,
Yeah.
and then you had
Yeah.
good free throw shooter. Rara was a good free throw shooter.
Yeah.
He was gonna have that ball at the end.
Yeah.
So he was
Yeah.
gonna hold that ball. Brooks was a good free throw shooter.
Good free throw shooter.
Yeah.
So that and Cap used what he had. He knew who his leaders were. He knew what the guys what they can do. I mean, Whoop. Reason people know Whoop Whoop because when
Yeah.
they come out there, Whoop 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 Whoop.
Yeah.
They called his name. They fired him up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember Jeff.
He was a big time player, man.
Big time.
Earl May had hit 2 long shots, and the third one, to this day, nobody knew how Whoop blocked that shot. He came from under the basket. He barely touched it.
Well,
It was on line.
well,
It fell short.
how tall was Whoop?
Whoop about 6'6".
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
had long arms though,
Yeah,
and he could jump.
So now, I posted y'all the other day because my favorite song when I post people back in the day is "Give the People What They Want." So when you came to jail, you came down to jail. Y'all giving the people what they want, right?
Oh yeah, both teams were giving the people
Yeah.
what they want because they had a superstar, Mule King,
Yeah,
high school All-American, and people wanted. Now you talking the western side of town, you know,
yeah, yeah.
the whole western side
Yeah.
coming over there.
So y'all
To this
played them
day,
at
I
Fair
didn't know
Park.
that Fair Park was in Islay. I always thought it was in Smithfield, but you know,
Yeah,
so that means that it should have been their home court advantage.
yeah.
So, but the thing about that is because they had played the year before and Parker upset Jackson Hole. They were looking to go to the state tournament. So now in 75, this rivalry done build up.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And everybody got the best big man in the state, which is Reginald King.
You had to deal with him.
I didn't have to deal with him. I told you
Oh,
I
you
dealt
got
with the
you was on the
guard.
wing. See, I
Oh,
always
Richard
thought you
Ford.
played down. So
Oh,
forward
no.
were down low.
Ford and Michael Jemison.
So what forward game look like?
Ford was a rebounder, block shot, jump shooter around
Post.
the basket.
He post up.
He wasn't. I mean, Michael Jemison was our post guy.
Yeah.
See,
yeah,
all the stuff that they doing now, the up and under, the jack we move,
yeah,
the hook, the
Yeah.
sky hook, the jump, that was Michael Jemison guy.
yeah. I got you. Yeah.
So
yeah,
Jemison was the guy when it came
Yeah.
to post move.
yeah,
You know, Woot was the 15-foot, 10-foot shooter. And then you had Brooks with the long range shooter outside. And you had Philip Eli Davis was the big guy, the brunt guy that guarded Mew, that
Yeah.
put the bottom on Mew. And he put the bottom
y'all,
on Mew.
y'all didn't go zone when y'all played them. Or y'all
No,
went
we
man.
were man. We
Y'all
picking
y'all
up
were
94
man.
feet, man. We
Yeah,
going up
yeah,
and down. That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
It ain't like this now.
Yeah. So
So
y'all,
we
so y'all just
we go up and down.
y'all played man a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody.
Man, I ain't seen that. Yeah, yeah. So I'm at both of y'all. So now you know you out man. There's a difference between you and Giles because Giles, they the top dog, and you turned out to be the lower seed. So what happened is did you sleep at night going to Carver, knowing you had to play Carver? Yeah, you know, some of them games you can't get no sleep.
I knew all of the guys on Carver's team.
Yeah.
And I should have been there.
Yeah, yeah,
So I played against them.
yeah.
And I mean, fear wasn't a factor.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah.
Fear wasn't a
So
factor.
you was able to get a good night's sleep.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't sleep from anticipation,
Yeah,
not
Yeah.
because of the
Yeah.
name Carver.
yeah.
You know.
Cause see, I used to hear them names Freeman and Jiles, them a little bitty boy, and I'm saying like, who the hell are these guys? You know what I'm saying? And then over the years, I got to know. Now, you playing Joe, y'all giving the people what they want. So, what Cap telling y'all before the game?
Well, Cap was, he would give his same speech, hey, go out here, they're gonna be crying. He used to tell me, look, you're a young boy, keep your mouth closed and sit over there and watch and tell Whoop and them, because the pressure was on Ra Scott, Richard Ford, Elsa Brooks, Michael Jemison, and Philip Davis. And so he had his 5 that he expected them to do what they need to do. But Cap knew that he had the fans, he had the officials,
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
And then he prepared us well. See, the one thing about Cap, he didn't leave no stones unturned.
oh, I know. Oh, yeah.
And so when you got a coach like that, and you got a good team,
yeah,
and you got people believe in what he's
yeah,
selling,
yeah, yeah,
then it's hard to beat them.
yeah.
Now, Jackson Nolan, it wasn't a setup. They did beat us at one time. But
That
they
was during
beat
the
us
regular
before,
season.
Yeah. They beat us in the
It was
regular
in
season.
75.
Yeah, in 75.
See, I didn't know they had
before
beat
we
y'all.
went to the
Yeah.
before we went to the regional to play
Yeah.
to go to the state. So
Yeah.
they was already feeling good. We finally beat Park.
Yeah.
Now we gonna finally get them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they think that they didn't knock us off our horse. But at that time, Capo, let's say, I'm glad, because sometimes it's hard to beat somebody 4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
man.
It
yeah,
is.
yeah.
And so
So y'all get them at Fair Park, jump
Yeah.
on them.
it wasn't a jump on now. It was
Yeah.
always milk and tuck. You had
Yeah.
Jeff Hill going against Robert Scott. You had
Yeah.
Earl May going against Elsa. We were evenly matched.
Yeah.
The common denominator is that we had more players than J.O.
Yeah.
And that's what Park used to beat people. We had a better bench than most people.
I think a better coach too.
At that time.
Yeah.
But that white guy wasn't bad though.
Yeah.
Steve Sylvester wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And then Muriel King was different. And I think the difference between both of our teams was the guard play.
And I'm gonna tell you, and I may be the only one thinking this. When you go on the road, taking the ball out back in the day, you hear a lot of challenge on you.
Oh shoot.
You're on the road.
Oh yeah.
What you hear?
Yeah. You could hear.
And
you could hear
maybe a dumb
almost-
question, but
almost
I
anything.
just
You know, if you had the ball taking it out, it would always be somebody in your ear
Yeah.
saying something to you. Throw it away.
Yeah.
You know, doing stuff.
Yeah.
And you,
See, because I'm painting this picture because I want people to know back in the day it was standing room only. And if you take the ball out, sometime on the road they push it back in bounds.
oh yeah.
You know, referee scared to call it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey man, I'm wondering, hey, they gonna get at me. So Mew had a good game against y'all.
He always.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he got his. Let me put
Yeah.
it like that. You know, and he would do at the beginning, in the middle, then at the end. But the game would be over with.
Yeah.
When he finished the game.
But y'all beat them by that night.
I don't
You
remember, but it was a close game. I can
Close
tell
game.
you that. They were all a close game. When they
Yeah.
were beating Jackson Nolan by no 10 and 15 points, now you forget that.
So now both of y'all go to the state. So you think about y'all gonna play Parker?
Well,
Or you just taking the one game
No,
at a time?
no. We didn't have Parker in our sights.
Yeah.
Because we were a losing team.
Yeah.
So what we did, everybody that we played against was a state finalist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they were good.
Yeah.
So you couldn't look ahead of anybody.
Yeah. So when y'all went to the tournament, and see, I just want to remind people, the tournament went in Birmingham.
It's in
It was in Tuscaloosa.
University of Alabama.
Yeah. So I want them to know that specifically, that it was not in Birmingham, and there was no TV. It was on the radio. It was on the radio, and you listen to it. And they played the Soul Train song. When they go to a commercial, they playing the Soul Train song. So now y'all just because I always thought the team from Birmingham, if they made it, they were gonna win.
It was automatic.
It was automatic.
No.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So y'all come up through there. So y'all played 3 teams before y'all get to Parker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who you
I
remember?
know we played Gaston.
Galveston. They stayed in the tournament.
Yeah,
Man.
they had some good teams.
Yeah.
And I think it was Anniston.
Yeah.
Anniston High
Yeah.
School.
Yeah.
I know there was 2 of them. And I can tell you this. Once we won this semifinal game,
Yeah.
we came to the university the next day and to look at a game early in the day.
Yeah.
It was a team called Collinsville.
Yeah.
Collinsville High School. They played against Holy Family in the 1A championship. Holy Family had a big team, 6'7", 6'8".
Oh,
across
Banks
the
now.
front.
Yeah.
Is it Banks? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They were
Every
good.
good team.
Collinsville, their tallest player was 6'1".
Wow.
This gave us inspiration.
Yeah.
Collinsville came out there and hustled, and won that game against Holy Family, which was highly top.
Now, and man, I don't think they know what it is to go to the state. So y'all down there from probably you got down there Sunday night or Monday.
Yeah.
Cause see, when we went to the state, me and Charles, and we were down there Monday to Saturday.
Yeah.
Then Coach Jeff asked us, y'all want to spend the night? And we lost to Carver Montgomery, but we ready to come back home. So now, what's your route? Now, you got a different story because although y'all had lost 3 games, y'all ran into somebody that was undefeated, right?
We did. Like I said, after we beat Jackson Nolan to go to the state, nobody was thinking about Phillips. Our mind was still on Carver.
Yeah.
We just lost to Carver the last.
Yeah.
I mean, we just beat Carver the last game of the season
Yeah.
on a Michael Jemison hook to take it to the overtime.
Yeah.
Then another hook to win the game.
Yeah.
So when we found out Phillips was going to the state, everybody was shocked on the team.
Yeah.
But on our path, we had to play Tumerville out of Mobile.
Yeah.
And we didn't play our best game against that that team from Mobile. Cap got on the guys real hard and told them they weren't playing up their ability. They were letting me down because I was the only sophomore on the team, and they needed to play better to show me what big-time basketball was all about. I'm just a sophomore. I've never been in this predicament. Then we played Robert E. Lee.
Tell them about Robert E. Lee.
Robert E. Lee was undefeated. They were like 35-0. And they were beating everybody by 50 points. And they were nationally ranked. So everybody was like, oh, we want to see this game here. Yeah. Parker out of Birmingham.
Yeah.
So if you look, man, if you come out of Birmingham, Jackson Olin 33 and something.
You playing the best in Birmingham.
That's right. Yeah. Everybody had a good team.
That's what I thought. See, back in the day, if Birmingham made it, in Birmingham was like, hey, made it, they're going to win it.
Yeah,
you know
but see, at the time, every other year, a Birmingham team was making it in the finals, and the next year they'll play somebody that wasn't from Birmingham.
Yeah,
that's how they had to set up. So we played Robert E. Lee. They had Cedric Hodge and Wiley Peck. They had a big team. They had one of the biggest teams.
I heard the name Wiley Peck.
So we end up beating them, okay? And now we got to play Phillips. But this ain't the same Phillips now that we didn't play in the regular season.
Okay, when you play Robert E. Lee, what you beat them by? How did you beat them?
We beat them by 9. We beat them by 9. This how we beat them. We had better guards.
Yeah.
See, we had Keith McIntosh, Elsa Brooks, and Rara. You had to deal with him, and that was a handful.
Yeah.
For his handling the ball, stealing the ball, shooting, making plays, he can do it. Richard Ford can block anybody's shot. Matter of fact, Richard Ford used to always win the tip. When he won the tip, we win. And we won. Yeah. And we played Cedric Hodges, was big left-handed guy. Everybody in the nation wanted him. Then you had Wiley Peck.
I remember
6'8", long, big hand with the Mississippi State. We played the pro.
I remember him.
Then they had a good team. They had Jerome Leggett. He was about 6'6". So their whole team was big. But how we beat them, we controlled the tempo with Rara Scott. We made the free throws.
Is it true? It's true when you got a point guard. You got to have a point guard that control the tempo.
Control the tempo.
I go out there and see teams now. I see the guy from Rams. He like 6'7". Last name Williams. He can control the tempo. And the guy from Fairfield. Now, them two guys I go out to see, they could control the tempo. Now, the corner guy, he controlled the tempo. But the ones that I know, the 6'7" guy, Williams from Rams, and the guy from Fairfield, he can control the tempo. Ford, he got Ford right up on him. And sometimes he reminds me of Rara. He's not explosive as Rara, but the reason he reminds me of Rara, he control the tempo. His name D. Will. He controlled the tempo. So y'all control control the tempo.
He controlled the tempo. Whoop and Jimerson controlled the inside. And then we had a guy, Keith McIntosh, that played with Steve at Lawson State.
Yeah.
Keith hit a half-court shot going into halftime.
Yeah.
That gave us the momentum. They gave our fan the momentum because it was just back and forth.
Yeah.
And when he hit that shot, that inspired us. That gave us the momentum. I brought Jerome Leggett's shot. Elsa Brooks hit a deep jumper. So everybody played their role. Cap put you in your role and you played your role.
So when y'all beat him, what a lot of crying on their part was. They had to be broke.
Oh yeah, they were hurt, man.
Yeah.
Cedric Hodges took his headband off. He threw it down. You know, the first thing they said when you beat somebody, they cheated on us.
Oh
And the referee didn't give us a fair call. But most of those teams that was outside the city, they didn't play basketball like inner city guys play. You see what I'm saying? Control tempo, can handle the ball. You can put a press on them and kill them. They might be big, but they couldn't handle the press. They didn't have good ball handling.
And they had guards.
That's right. And they had guards, but they weren't good ball handling.
They weren't better than Rara on them.
No, and most of these guys, they're shooters now. So when you were talking about the different era and different guys now, they more combo guards. They want to scope. Run a team.
And see, that's why I'm telling you now. When see Rara, you see him on TV, and I saw him at Parker. I think one time I was a little bit of a guy, though, a little bit of the boy. But now that's why I tell you about the guy from Rams and Jay Williams. He don't look over at Johnson. He don't look over at Johnson. He go control the tempo himself. You see what I'm saying? And the same one for D. Will. And then Austin Connor at times, he could control it. And so now y'all get ready to go against Phillip. What y'all thinking?
Well, really, what happened, like I said, it's hard to beat a team 2 or 3 times. They're from Birmingham, and they got better. And you don't know they got better. They won 2 games by hitting a last second shot.
Yeah.
But Richard Ford, our best player, we ate breakfast at Sambo that morning down in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
And somehow he ended up getting sick. Whoop fell out in Sambo's. Nobody knew he drunk some bad orange juice. Nobody knew that.
Yeah.
They took him over to the University of Alabama and they pumped whatever was in his system
I never
out
heard
of
that
him.
story.
No, a lot of people don't know that. He had to be there.
Yeah.
And so, not saying I'm not taking nothing away from Steve, them,
Yeah.
and not saying we were not our best.
Yeah.
It that Steve then was a different team.
Yeah. Yeah.
We hadn't seen them anymore.
So me and you talked before when I did the story. One thing I remember you said, you never took them for granted. Y'all didn't take them for granted.
We didn't take them for granted because anybody that makes it to the state,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't take them for granted.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what they did, they transformed their team. They started playing together. They started playing defense. All the things that they didn't do early in the season.
Yeah.
You know, unless you out there scouting them and watching them play, well, they worrying about making it to the state like we were worried. Now we got to get through Muriel King. We got to get through Keith McCartney. So we can't look over that Steve now. And then when they did make it, then our focus, we couldn't even think about them then because we got to go through who?
Yeah.
We got to go through the best team in the state of Alabama, as they call Robert E. Lee.
Yeah.
They undefeated, beating everybody by 50 points. And they nationally ranked. So we couldn't even think about Phillips then.
Yeah.
We couldn't focus on them.
Yeah.
But once the game started, we saw the, like you said, a hustle. We saw the aggressiveness.
So what is like warming up? Y'all looking down on their end? You looking down on their end?
Of course, you look down on that.
And many people claim like they don't look down there. You know you warming up, Giles. You take a peek down there.
Oh, yeah.
See if they making the shots of what they got coming.
I knew all of them.
Yeah.
I knew all of them.
Yeah.
I played against all of them. I knew their reactions. But you still marvel at their athleticism. You still marvel at how good they handle the ball.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something. What somebody came back and told me from that game. They ain't never seen so many pom-poms in their life.
Oh yeah.
Between the two schools.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell the people that we did our study, and I got it from a reliable source. 14,488 fans. He said it won't go backwards. It could have been more.
Yeah.
Once they sell all the tickets, they stop counting. How is it you 17, you 15 playing before a crowd like that? Where you get your okay, it just come from years of playing basketball.
We weren't intimidated. You coming out of Fair Park, man. How can you be intimidated?
Good point.
At the University of Alabama.
You played with rowdy fans all year. Every game, you got somebody that talks about you like you're supposed to be talked to get motivated.
Yeah.
And so that was the only difference was it was more.
Yeah. It was more.
And they wasn't as close. It wasn't the setting there is not as intimidating
like as up on you. Yeah.
Because they are right up on you. They can see you.
Every mistake.
Yeah. So you warming up down there, you taking a peek at Giles.
Yeah. I actually our warm up, our strategy was defense.
Yeah.
Our strategy was defense. I'm not gonna let Essa Brooks beat us.
Yeah.
I had to check Essa Brooks.
Yeah.
And we played defense. And actually we had to lead late in the game.
47-46.
We had to lead.
When they had y'all 47-46, that was about 2 minutes ago.
It was a minute, I want to say like a minute and 20-some seconds.
Yeah. So what y'all did? Pressed them up?
I think we made some turnovers and they fouled us and we went to the free throw.
Made some shots.
Let's talk about the first half first. I'm glad you're getting there. We're gonna talk about that one. Where you went with the free throw. Look, so you at the half. What Coach Moore saying to y'all at the half?
Well, this is not a gimme.
Yeah.
And we knew it wasn't a gimme. We figured Parker was one of the best teams we had ever seen.
Yeah.
So we are there. And
Yeah.
I don't believe in that kind of victory where everybody gets a trophy.
Yeah.
For,
Yeah. What they do now? Everybody get a ring.
I don't believe
everybody
in
get a trophy.
that.
Yeah.
If you don't put out what you're supposed to,
Yeah.
you don't get nothing.
Yeah.
So my whole thing was go out there and put your heart into it.
So halftime, you remember what it was a close game? I think that was up 5 or 6. 4.
It was a close game, a close enough game that nobody knew it was a blowout.
What kept telling you at halftime?
I remember he was more concerned with Richard Ford because, like I said, Whoop had fell out.
Yeah.
So now how I'm gonna rest him? How I'm gonna play him? He can't start playing the whole game like I normally play. So it was all that type strategy. And then the other strategy is how we gonna stop Phillips? They're making shots now. They weren't making shots against us early in the season.
Yeah.
You beat them by 30, you beat them by 20.
Yeah.
So now this is a different team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you play a different team and you constantly, if you done beat them by these many scores and now they making shots and they in the game, I think I remember Jody turning the ball over. We finally got a turnover at the right time and situation.
They were 47, 46.
I guess it was around that time.
Yeah.
And then I remember once we got that 1 point lead, Cal put the 4 corners in, and then we made our free throws. They fouled rah-rah, we made our free throw. But no, it wasn't a blowout game. Matter of fact, our fans were nervous and their fans were happy and excited.
Yeah.
Because, all our fans gave us everything the night before against Robert E. Lee.
Yeah.
See, all our energy went in that game, basically.
Yeah.
Because we can't get to the championship until we go through these guys.
Yeah.
Who's the best team. They were ranked like 4th nationally, man.
Yeah.
Can you imagine playing against a team 6'9", 6'8", 6'10", 6'6" guards?
Yeah.
And then beating everybody by 50 points.
Well, later on, y'all came back and y'all played Jones better like that, remember?
Oh, yeah, my
later on,
they had a big team like that.
Yeah. But I'm saying, how y'all matching up? There's a powerhouse. They just knocked off the number 4 team in the country. How y'all matching up with them? What y'all do
it was
y'all playing man to man?
It was a wheel. We played man to man.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a wheel.
Yeah.
You put yourself out there and you put yourself in position to work hard.
Yeah.
And take chances and accept what you do. And we did. And it came out to our favor because it wasn't that 25 point fourth quarter ahead that they could relax. They had to work.
Yeah.
And when you have to work, it makes you feel better about what you had to do.
Yeah, yeah. So now we come out of halftime, we go third quarter. I think Park was up 4 coming out. I think I remember looked it up 4. What going through y'all mind? Y'all the top team.
What was going through our mind? Why we ain't blowing them out?
Yeah.
We just blowed them out twice during the regular season.
Yeah.
But knowing this, man, teams out of Birmingham, they're not afraid of each other.
Yeah, yeah.
The only difference might be better coaching or better player, or you might have more players, better players.
Yeah.
It ain't like it is now. I see you name some of these kids now.
Yeah.
And I went through a full season last year, high school basketball. They scale each other.
Yeah.
If this guy the best player, then I'm scared of him. I ain't gonna guard. That's right.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that with us. We're gonna give you everything we got, like Steve said.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get up in your face, Elzabrook. You ain't scoring tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know if I shut you down and do my job, we got a chance to win this game.
I think
kids don't think
like that. Teams play with man to man now. They'll go back in the zone. They'll start man to man, then drop back in the zone. But I think I see Pensacola Valley going a lot. They do. I think Barber do a lot of man to man. But some teams just step back and they just step back in the zone. So Cap just fully made y'all play man to man. Are you want to play man?
I mean, that's the type of players we had. We can guard people.
Yeah.
We long, we had length. We can guard people. Robert can take the point guard out the game by himself.
Yeah.
You kill the head of the snake, then you got a chance. And that's what Robert could do for our team.
So in the fourth quarter, 47-46, so y'all had the ball. And like he said, he think Johnson turned the ball over. And so when he turned the ball over, y'all went down and scored.
Right.
And then y'all went to the 4 corners.
Right.
And I think y'all went up by 3 and they had to foul. Then it ended up being 56-53. I never forget the score. 56-53. What is it like playing the state championship? For the people that don't know, I know they come to Birmingham now, but y'all took a drooling route to get there. So what is it like playing in the championship?
Well, I'll tell you this. I didn't play AAU ball.
Yeah.
I was mainly interested in baseball.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my thing. I used to pitch.
Yeah.
In baseball and play shortstop or center fielder, but that was my route. But basketball, I loved it.
Yeah.
But a lot of times you see a venue like where we played, and you just get chills.
Yeah.
But we didn't have that because we were ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that was the most exciting thing that we had. Exciting thing that I had done.
Was that the
since
best
then.
game? Was the best game, the biggest game you ever played in, right?
Technically, yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've never played in another state championship game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was the biggest venue that we had ever played in.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had Alabama.
Do you ever think about? I know you think about it. What if? Couple plays.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Can't get out your mind.
Of course.
Cause you got 47, 46 with the ball. Yeah.
I tell you this though. The best thing that came from that game, this is personal.
Yeah.
This is personal.
Yeah.
The best thing that came from that game is when I got home.
Yeah. Yeah, because you told me the story. Yeah.
My dad, Chris, had never seen me play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Never. He was a hard worker. He came to me and gave me a hug, said, I heard that game on the radio for the whole game, and I'm proud of you. Don't you know that tore me up, that game? That game meant so much to me that just tore me up.
Yeah, yeah. Did you gain respect from them? You already had respect, but you even gained more when they came to play y'all that night.
Oh yeah, I mean everybody knows Steve could play. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't like they didn't have a good team and good players. That they didn't have. I'm not saying that they didn't have a coach, but if they probably would have been together a little bit more and longer, they probably would have been one of the better teams. Like Steve Jefferson had those guys for a long time. He brought them to the rings, B team or whatever like that. One of the other things that you know that I admired about going to the state, I went twice.
Yeah.
I won a championship and I lost the championship in 76.
Yeah.
And then my senior year we didn't go in 77.
Yeah.
And then Tootal and them went in 78. So Parker just had a history. We dominated our region.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, on the other school that ever came out of probably with West End, with T.R. Dove. Other than that, it was always Parker.
Do you see when you've been around basketball, because you're assistant to the coaches out there, you let them know what's going on at Parker now. You see anybody out there sometimes you look back and said, "It got to remind me of me."
No, not really, because see, I was left-handed.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Parker, one of their greatest left-hander was a guy named Perry Campbell. So that's who Cap was grooming me to be. You remember I told you earlier.
Yeah.
He put players in a position that another great player.
Yeah.
And that's who you want to be. That's who
pretty
you're
smart.
Be like.
And that's pretty smart. Yeah.
That's right. And that's all his teams. He always had a left-handed guy.
You see basketball, see anybody that remind me them of you? Because see, I'm gonna tell you, I saw the guy. He's not left-handed. You taller than him, and your jumper better than him. But I see the kid from Parker sometime on a given night.
Who talking about?
What is his name?
Nate.
He kind of resemble you. When I see him run the court sometime,
Nate a way better athlete and a way better shooter than me.
Yeah, but he remind me, cause he gonna hustle. He do a lot of hustle, and he remind. I think he could have played with Cal. He could have played for Cal.
Oh yeah,
I think he could have played for Cal.
Oh yeah. The thing is, when I see these young guys that they don't do, see, like Steve said, he was 6'2".
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? And he played full.
Yeah.
Guys 6'2" now, you got to be a guard.
Yeah.
Chris Jiles, I was always a small forward and a 2 guard, and I was 6'3", 6'4", because we had length.
Yeah.
So Captain, he didn't need me to be no center. Now when Whoop and all them guys left, then I went in the basket. Then I had to learn how to play in the basket.
Yeah.
In Birmingham, if you was 6'3", 6'4", you was a center.
Yeah.
You're a center. Mary King was 6'6".
Yeah.
So, but now these guys, they got opportunity, the skills to come out on the floor and play out on the floor.
Yeah.
You didn't do that. You was a back to the back player.
Yeah.
And they got you the ball.
Yeah.
Your point guard handled the ball. You didn't handle the ball. They brought you the ball.
Yeah.
So that's what's different in this era. That's why I can't understand. But they focus on all this other street ball kind of.
They watch the PlayStation. Yeah.
Instead of learning, going out there working on their jump shot.
And then, and like I said back then, y'all had the fundamentals. I think these guys now, they looking for more. They playing AAU a lot, and they playing low level A. I talked to a lot of coaches, D1 coaches. They said they wasting their time playing some of these AAU. They wasting their time because no coach is gonna come unless you got a marquee player. You see what I'm saying? Like the guy from Hoover, Brown. Now they come to see him. If he's in a tournament, but he plays all the way in Florida. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of guys, and one guy posted on Facebook, while y'all playing AAU, y'all need to be working on y'all game. Fundamental. You agree? Fundamental.
Oh,
Still,
yeah,
that's true.
fundamental. Still,
That's
still,
true.
still.
It's still
About
rules to
basketball.
game.
I see a lot. I don't see a lot of high school games, but some of the high school games that I saw, you had players, the point guard, looking at the ball.
Yeah, yeah.
They look at the ball when they're dribbling instead of looking at where they're anticipating to pass the ball.
And see that?
And they run a play. If you run a play and the play is not open, they still throw it.
See, that's why I told you guys about the guy Connor. We use a little term, the yo-yo man look like he got that ball in the yo-yo. He never looked down at the ball. He got it. The guy from Fairfield and the guy from Ramsey is 6'7", playing point guard. I don't know what he's gonna play point guard this year, but he's 6'7", and the minute he get that ball, you know what he do? He look up. If he ain't got it, back him back out. So I can recognize a point guard. So now I'm gonna call some names, and I want y'all to give me some comments on them. Cap Brown.
I think Cap Brown, he was my coach. Cap Brown, I will always tell people, Cap Brown at Ace Parker High School saved my life and changed my life. Because I was just one of them like knuckleheads in Smithfield running around doing stuff. Now, I didn't break in cars, I didn't snatch purses, but I did devilish things.
Yeah.
By him taking me and putting me in this program that kept me off the street. And then like I said, we practiced all night.
Yeah.
So when I went home, I went to sleep.
Yeah.
And then we had to get up early in the morning to have study hall and
Yeah.
do our homework and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cap Brown
We
was
don't even have study hall no more.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Cap Brown was a disciplinarian. Cap Brown is the only guy. The Negro League this year, nobody said anything about Cap Brown. He played in the Negro League.
See,
Cap Brown
when you
coached
told me
8
that, I never knew that.
Major League Baseball players that played in the Major League. 4 of them with First Brown. And most of Cap basketball players were baseball players because he really was a baseball man.
Yeah.
Alvin
Yeah.
McGrew, one of the best point guards that ever came through him.
Yeah.
University of Alabama wanted to sign him, but he decided he wanted to play professional baseball. So
Yeah.
he was drafted in the first round by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cap Brown did a lot for this city.
Yeah.
Not only was it the all-time winningest coach, but he won a national championship.
Yeah.
Before anybody in this state won a basketball national championship.
Many people don't know that.
Cap Brown
Yeah. Yeah.
lost his first game against Fairfield, the same school he and Willie Mays went to,
Yeah.
against his coach.
Yeah.
And they won 43 games in a row. When you talk about all the teams from the United States playing up in Tennessee,
Yeah. Yeah.
he won 43. And Pearl High School was the dominant basketball, and you played at Tennessee State, so Pearl High School right there.
Right?
Yeah.
Parker went up there and upset them. And right now, that team to this day is ranked like one of the 40th all-time team,
Yeah.
higher than Magic Johnson high school team.
Yeah.
And you can go to Max Prep and look it up.
Yeah.
That's almost over 60-some years, man. So that let you know how great that 1964 Parker High School
Yeah.
team was.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had a Major League Baseball player drafted off that team. You had an NBA player on that team. So what I'm saying is, Cap was different than most coaches. He
Yeah.
was an icon in this city. Everybody knew Cap Brown.
Yeah.
Everybody liked Cap Brown.
Help a lot of people out, other
Yeah.
schools too, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
other people coaches wanted to envy Cap, or they wanted to be like him. They wanted a celebrity. People
Yeah.
came to the games just to see what Cap was going to wear.
Yeah.
People came
And-
to the game to see how many uniforms
and-
Parker was going to wear
And
that
I'm gonna
night.
tell you something.
Huh,
was-
Steve?
That's right.
I was standing over that bound one night. I was gonna take the ball out of bounds. I looked down. I saw a ring on his hand. Know where I'm going. He had a diamond in there.
Yeah.
So I was around Coach Jeff a lot. I used to always see a diamond ring. I used to see a diamond. Never knew where it stood. I was a young boy. But you know what? I figured it out.
Yeah,
Both of them were Kappas.
that's right.
Yeah, and went to war against each other.
And,
Yeah.
and Scoggins was a
Yeah,
Cap.
yeah. See, I
And
looked at that
Herman
ring.
Williams.
Yeah. So Alvin Moore. What you think about Alvin Moore?
Well, Coach Moore, when I was a sophomore, of course, he was the assistant. He was the B team coach.
Yeah.
Or the assistant varsity coach. After my sophomore year, he got promoted to varsity coach. Now, we didn't have the tradition as Parker had.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't have the glorious players, but you know, it wasn't like we were a slouch,
Yeah.
you know. And when you've got that following like they had, if we play Parker, we know it's
Yeah.
gonna be packed.
It's money time.
It's money time.
Yeah.
You got to either show up or you just gonna not be playing at all.
Yeah.
But Coach Moore was a good coach. I didn't need a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
Because I just was that kind of person.
Yeah.
But I knew that a lot of other guys needed that.
Yeah.
You know, and I would go to them sometime and say something to them to try to get them on the right track.
Yeah.
Because we had to win.
Yeah.
You know, we had to win.
Okay, Rah Scott. Give me some comments on Rah.
Like I told you earlier and stated earlier, Rah kind of helped make me as a high school basketball player.
Yeah.
With his leadership, Rah was a leader. I mean, Rah couldn't pass the ball from here to that wall as a quarterback.
Yeah.
But he willed our football team.
Yeah.
And the guys followed him because they knew he was a leader.
Yeah.
Now, how did he develop these qualities? Did he develop it at Washington when they won the middle school championship?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And everybody from Washington thought they could play basketball because of Rah Scott.
Yeah.
Rah had leadership ability. He had skills. I mean, you know, he won a few guys who won a state championship.
Yeah.
And a high school state championship as a coach.
Yeah.
And he was a leader, you know, baseball team, whatever he touched, he was a leader. He went to the University of Alabama. He became a leader. So his personality, he was a quiet assassin. Rah didn't say much, but he did a lot. And when he spoke, you better believe, like Steve said, he gonna tell you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I told you before, Cap ain't gonna let everybody lead his team now.
Yeah.
His leaders start with the point guards.
Yeah.
Ralph Williams, Rah Scott.
Yeah.
So, but Rah was a good person, man, great person, great guy to be around. He understood the game of basketball. Basketball was his love. And everybody in Memorial Park wanted to be like Rah Scott. And without Rah Scott, and I'm saying this, I know we wouldn't have won that 75 state championship. I saw this guy do some amazing things on the basketball court, you know, and his belief in the things he did, he led by example.
Yeah.
You didn't see Rah miss a whole lot of free throws.
Yeah.
And we talked about that.
Yeah.
Most people with 1 second, you need both free throws to win the game or whatever, they tighten up.
Yeah.
I never saw him tighten up. So he was the ultimate leader. He was well missed from the Parker family when he died at an early age and a young age. But, you know, we all on this earth for a reason.
Yeah.
And when God wants us to come home and use us for something else, then he will call for us. But he's missed to this day because our program, Cap Brown, guy like Rah Scott, it kind of changed for a minute. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now it's coming back, you know, under the leadership of Coach Smith.
Yeah.
It's coming back. And I wouldn't trade nothing in the world for playing basketball in the 70s. I went to 2 state championships. Most people don't even get to Tuscaloosa.
Don't get there.
Mew King never got there.
Never got there.
But he got there to play at the University of Alabama, but he never got it. Enos White. Look at all the great
Never got
players
there.
that never got there.
Never got
You
there.
know, and most of the time, something kept a team from getting there.
Yeah.
You know, Carver finally got over that hump. And when
Yeah.
they did,
Yeah.
I mean, they rolled with it.
Yeah.
Hayes High School finally got over that hump.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
rolled with it.
Yeah.
But look at all the great players that came through there, even the ones that didn't make it,
Yeah.
you know, to the state. They ain't, I'm not saying they weren't good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great players, man, that came through Birmingham. A whole
Yeah,
lot of them.
because-
Every school.
It's hard to win a title in a lot of schools in Birmingham. Some can't get, but some get there. They just ain't won it yet. But everything got to go right. The injuries,
Yeah.
the waking up in the morning, the time, and all that stuff. Tony Miller, because I don't think many people knew how good he was. Give me some quotes on him.
Tony was, like I told you, if Tony had worked
Yeah.
like he should have,
Yeah.
Tony would have been great.
Yeah.
He had all the physical attributes.
Yeah.
He had big hands. he could put his body on you and move you out the way,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
matter who you were.
So he was a smaller Mule King.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it was hard to get around him.
it's hard to get around.
Did he ever say anything?
Well, he would talk.
Yeah,
He would smack talk,
yeah,
and sometimes you could smack talk and lose your own game.
yeah.
So but he talked to you.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey man, I appreciate y'all coming on. And like I said, we're gonna do a part 2 because I got some more stuff up my sleeve. And I'm gonna tell y'all about it off the air so nobody won't steal my deals. But I appreciate y'all coming out here, man. And hey, I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
1975, man. See, y'all,
I appreciate
y'all set
you,
the
bro.
pace, man.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you,
I
man.
still don't
Appreciate
like
you.
Chris Giles.
Only if I would have made a few shots.
We're gonna take some pictures now, man.
Now, do you put it on Facebook?
Yeah, it's on my page.
Okay,
Yeah. I mean, yeah.